Let's talk about promoted listings once again, concentrating on common mistakes, wrong assumptions, or in other words, let's hear 10 things that you may not know or understand in full about promoted listings. Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Polish Pete, eBay reseller based in UK. I buy cheap ladies clothing in bulk and I sell them individually on eBay for profit. I'm also an unpaid carer for an elderly and disabled person who lives abroad, and that is what takes a bulk of my day. Today I would like to talk about promoted listings, as the more I watch YouTube, the more I open my eyes widely in disbelief. There are so many people who get so many things wrong about promoted listings. I dare to say that vast majority of so-called influencers don't understand promoted listings in full. In fact, they make wrong assumptions in basics. Now, I'm not going to claim that I understand them in full, but one thing needs to be said. I've got quite extensive experience in using advertising to generate profit. In fact, for years before I have emigrated to UK, I was making a living out of advertising, using extensively something that is called, or at least it used to be called back in the days, ad arbitrage. So what is ad arbitrage? Basically, you pay to advertise to get traffic to your website, and then you earn more out of the ads that you serve to those people who you just paid for to come to your site. In short, I was paying 1 to 3 cents per click to drive certain amount of people to my website, and then some of those people clicked my ads on my website that I was serving, and I was getting enough money to pay for those clicks that brought those people in, and on top of that I was making profit. Back in early days of Google Ads, it was like a golden years of piracy. Gold was left, right and center, guys. I was making really good money doing nothing, because all you needed was a half decent website, and when everything was set up, those websites by the way were called made for AdSense, or MFA. So when everything was set up, your website was set up, your traffic was going in, that traffic was clicking your ads, and you were earning money. And when everything was set up, you didn't have to do anything, because everything was automatic. People were coming, clicking and going, coming, clicking and going, coming, clicking and going, and you were paying 50 cents in ads, and you were earning $1 out of your ads. And it was like printing money, basically. But anyway, let's talk about promoted listings and what some people get wrong about them. And when you get something wrong, you just burn money to hit your house. What you need to achieve is the best possible profit for the less possible financial input. So you want to pay as low as you can to get as much money in profit as you can. Because an average reseller doesn't have like a multi-item listings. Most resellers have one-off listings. So one listing, one item. When the item is sold, the item is gone, the listing is gone. This is why I'm going to concentrate in this video on promoted listing standard, because promoted listing standard in this case is the way to go. Promoted listing advance, so pay per click, is good mostly for people who run multi-item listings. When you can pay up, pay really high to sell first 4, 5, 6 pieces on a loss or on a break even, and then get that sales velocity, get that listing up, and then switch off promoted listings. And you kind of ride the wave because listing is already popular on eBay, and you can sell the rest of the items with a good profit margin. Okay, so we are concentrating on promoted listing standard today. So let's start. Number one, first thing that we need to understand is that the promoted listings are here for eBay to make money. We've got saying in Poland, if you can't figure out what it's all about, be sure that it's all about money. Promoted listings are not here for you to sell more, for you to get better visibility on eBay, for you to get extra clicks, extra views, extra sales. They are here now. Before, it's a different story. 5 years ago, that's a different story. And now, right now, promoted listings are here to create an impression in you that you get something out of them. But at the end of the day, the only one who gains is eBay. Because we, you and me and everybody else, we are paying them twice for the same service. We are paying them promoted listing fee and final value fee. For what? For nothing. They didn't do anything. They have found you a buyer. But if they find you a buyer organically, you pay once. When they find you a buyer via promoted listings, you pay twice. Now, the goal is to beat them in their own game. And they don't mind you beating them in their own game, because they don't care about one person, 2 people, 5 people, 1,000 people. They don't care about them, because there are millions of people who don't understand promoted listings, and they fall into the trap and line eBay's pockets with money. Number 2, closely correlated to number 1, the level or percentage at which you are promoting your items. Yeah, that's not the most important thing in the world. I'm gonna give you a moment to think. Yeah, it's not really that much important how big percentage you are giving to them. It's only one factor out of many. Yeah, I have talked about that in one of my vlogging videos, but not everybody has seen it. And if you won't believe me what I will say, I challenge you to go to your closest primary school, find the math teacher, explain him or her promoted listing model, and they will tell you the same as I will tell you. And I pretty much guarantee you that if they will tell you different, they shouldn't be a math teacher. Yeah? So there is many factors that determine who is promoted on the top and who isn't. But simplifying that to the absolute basics, this is how it looks like. 3 things matter. A, probability for your item to sell. The higher chance for your item to sell quickly, the better, and you will be promoted higher. It can be determined, for example, by your click-through rate and sell-through rate. Whether we are talking about individual listing or entire account. I don't know for sure, but I believe that for single items, common reselling thing, single item, eBay takes your whole account numbers because it doesn't have numbers for that single listing. So the higher your click-through rate, the higher your sell-through rate, the greater the chance that your item will sell quick. And by quick, I don't mean time. This way of thinking, it's a mistake as well that people make. They say, my listing has sold quick, it sold within a week. It doesn't flipping matter how many days it took that listing to sell. It matters when we're talking about promoted listings. It matters how many impressions were needed to sell your item. And you will pay eBay the same amount of money for your promoted listings, whether your item sells after 10 impressions or after 1,000,000 impressions. eBay will take a percentage. It's not a flat fee, it is percentage. So it prefers items, eBay prefers items, algorithm prefers items that will sell after 10 impressions over the items that will sell after 1,000,000 impressions. B, the level of your promotion, the percentage of the price that you are willing to pay eBay extra. It matters, but like I said, it's not the only thing that matters. It matters, the higher it is, the better chance for eBay to promote them. But it's just a theory. I will talk about it later in this video and in the next video about promoted listings. And C, the third thing, the price of your item. Common mistake is to think the more expensive item is, the more money eBay will get, and that's why it will promote it higher. But that's not true, because eBay algorithm judges your listing and your price on your listing against, it compares it against previously sold listings that are very similar to this one. So if this item or very similar item usually sells between $10 and $20 and your price is $35, forget about being promoted, because eBay knows that it will need shitloads of clicks, shitloads of impressions to sell that item for that kind of price. If it's overpriced, eBay will discard it, because they know this item has a low chance to sell. Because people in general on eBay, who are buying on eBay, they know the prices. They know that they are paying £10 or $10 for their jeans, and they are buying those jeans for years, and they will never pay 35 because they were always paying 10. Yeah? So, like I've said, if your price is too high, forget it. It has to be high, but in the bracket that eBay will accept. Then, simplifying all that very, very, very much to the point that everybody understands. Item A, item B. Item A price of this item is multiplied by the percentage level that you are promoting at. Then it's multiplied by your click-through ratio. Then it's multiplied by your sell-through ratio. And it gives you a number. Same is done with item B. whichever number is the greatest, this item will be promoted higher. There is more in that. There are other factors in play, and we are not exactly sure what it can be. For definitely it can be previous customer behavior. So if you have history of selling this item, so you've sold a very similar item yesterday, you will get better position. If you provide positive buyer's experience, dispatch time, feedback, returns, defects, things like that, all are in play. If you provide bad experience for your customers, then you will be lower, definitely. But we don't exactly know. And what I've just said, item A, item B, is the basics. The basics. Number 3 of things that people don't understand about promoted listings or get it wrong. Promoted listings is not extra exposure. It was like that back in the days, 3 years, 5 years from now, but it's not anymore. You are not getting extra placement, extra exposure, extra visibility. Basically, the key phrase here is either or. Either or. You can't have both placements in search results for the same item. You can't have, oh, there is my item here on organic searches, and there is my item here on as a promoted listing, sponsored item. Nothing like that. Some years ago, eBay said, from now on, it's going to be either or. You are either in search results as an organic listing or as a promoted listings. Yeah, and they did it quietly. And there is still a lot of people who think that their listing is somewhere there in organic search on the position 150, but they pay to promote it, so it is there on position 10. So they have 2 positions and they have extra exposure. No, bollocks, bullshit. Yeah, hopefully next Friday I will explain a little bit more about it. Yeah, if algorithm decides that your listing is good enough to be in search results, it decides if it should be there as a promoted listing or as a promoted search result or as an organic search result. Yeah, how it decides that? There are ways. Number 4, cookies. Right, there is a 30-day cookie, but at least in UK, when customer clicks in promoted item A and buys organically item B and buys 2 items together, only item A will be promoted. You won't pay promoted listings for item B. When he clicks promoted listing item and goes and buys something else that is not promoted, he found it organically by visiting your shop, whatever, this sale will not be charged promoted listings. It will be charged on promoted listing fee only if customer clicks item A and buys it 30 days later, even as an organic, he won't click again in promoted listings. He will go to your shop, find it again, and buy it. Only then you will be charged promoted listing fee. If somebody says, I have never promoted this item and I've still been charged promoted listing fees, they don't know what they are saying. At least in UK, it may be a situation where in US, in Australia, in Germany, there is a different terms and conditions. But in UK, I had at least half a dozen times in last 90 days. I had a customer who bought 2 items or more. One of them was promoted The rest of them were organic. And I only paid promoted listing fee for that one item that have bought. For those 2 or 1 or 3 or whatever it was added to that order, they were not promoted and I haven't been charged. And I will show you a proof of that in the next video. Number 5, promoted impressions are not equal. You've got impressions from search results and impressions from non-search results. And I'm having a laugh of the week when I hear YouTubers saying non-search results are rubbish, garbage, and you don't want them. When you know what you're doing, they are very good impressions. In the next video, I will show you to that. So those people say, these are rubbish impressions. But on the next video of those influencers, they will complain that eBay shows other items on their own selling website, yeah, on the listing website. So they are saying these impressions are rubbish, and then in the next video they are saying, oh, eBay shouldn't do that. So what the flipping hell is it? Is it good or bad impression? If it's a good impression, why are you call it rubbish? If it's a bad impression, why are you complaining about those impressions? That somebody else gets them. If you understand similarity vector, you can get a lot of sales out of those garbage impressions for as little as 2% promoted listing fee. And before the price hike, it was for 1%. And I was getting ton of sales paying 1% promoted listings. And now I'm getting decent amount of sales paying 2% promoted listings. And you can get a lot of sales paying certainly below 5% for those placements. I do it for years. This is where my experience in ad arbitrage comes to play. Get the traffic dirt cheap and convert it into profit. Number 6, no matter how good you are and how well you understand promoted listing concept and how good you know how to use them correctly, promoted listings will always cock up your numbers, no matter what. Due to their characteristic, and most importantly, due to the massive number of placements, promoted listings will always generate empty impressions. Every search, every comp, every time somebody browses the site, every view on the item, even views on your own items will generate empty impressions or multiplied impressions, and some of them are empty, of those promoted listings. That's how they are built. The more you push yourself into promoted listings, the lower your click-through ratio will be. There is no way around it. Promoted listings equal empty impressions. That's it. Now the question is, are you getting enough sales from promoted listings to justify all those empty impressions that you are getting? Number 7, no matter how high you are willing to promote your items, sorry for that, no matter how high you are willing to put your percentage at, no matter how much money you are willing to give to eBay, 9 times out of 10, there will be somebody desperate enough to pay even more. If there won't be somebody who are desperate enough to overbid you, So you are the highest bidder, then it means you are the most desperate for those sales. You are paying way too much. In general, you are getting into your rat race. If you are competing for those high search spots, you are getting into the rat race, and eBay is screwing you twice, and I will tell you that in the next video, and I will show you how eBay screws you. You are competing to find that holy grail, is it the word? Holy grail, the top spot in search results. Forget about that. Just forget about that. If you have to pay 20% to get that spot, just forget about it. Number 8, ROAS, or ROAS, or return on ads spent. Jesus Christ and Holy Mary. This number alone, when you look at it, gives you nothing. Not a tiny little shitty piece of information. Nothing. Without context, this number is as good as taking a sledge into beach holidays. And that's vacations for US viewers. Guys, this number, you can find this number on your ad dashboard. Yeah, on top right, I believe. Top right corner. Yeah, this number gives you total sales for every pound on dollar you spend on ads. And how that is helpful. It's not helpful at all if you don't know your bottom line. If you don't know what your profit is, you get no information at all. My ROAS is 25. It used to be 45, but it's now 25. And I will tell you why in the next video. But I know for sure, for certain, that 4 years, when I've checked it, when I check it every year, at the end of the year when I do my taxes, I just extract that number very precisely. I know for sure that for every 11 pounds in sales, I make 5 pound profit. And now we are talking. Now I know what this ROAS means. So if my ROAS is 25, then I know for every pound that I spend on ads, I will get at least a tenner in profit. And now I can judge for myself based on that number if I'm doing a good job or not. If you don't know your costs, all the costs, rent, diesel, phone, broadband, everything. If you don't know how much money you are getting as a profit at the end of the day as your bottom line, this number is useless. Useless. This number has been planted there deliberately by eBay to create a feel-good factor in people who don't understand the difference in words take and make. You are not making money, you are taking that money. Number 9, my favorite, conspiracy theories. According to the study made in 2021 by University of New Hampshire, 9% of Americans believe that Earth is flat. 12% of Americans believe that landing on the moon was fake. Another 10 to 15% is unsure. I think that explains why people believe in listing suppression and pay to play. Is eBay suppressing listings? Yes. Without a reason? No. Price too low, price too high, dispatch too long, recent negative feedback, recent late dispatch, recent late delivery, recent out of stock defect, return ratio too high, recent INAT, recent VERO, listing taken down for whatever reason, answering messages too late, postage too high, postage too slow, no returns policy, logging into eBay app from abroad or another state in US. Time off on my account. Not enough item specifics. Item specific spamming. Yeah, there is too many reasons for listing suppression to exclude them all and to say without shade of doubt, this listing has been suppressed by eBay without a reason. People tend to be biased and they try to find explanations to back up their theories. My sales are low because eBay suppresses listings without a reason. Why would they? Why the fuck would they? And B, pay to play. There is plenty of YouTubers saying eBay is now pay to play. Bullshit. Because there are YouTubers out there who you can find and watch, and they will show you that they have turned off promoted listings and they are still selling, sales are growing, organic impressions, organic views are going up. Primo, Chemo, Stoic, Reseller, check them out. It's not pay to play. It's rather, if you don't know how to play, then you will have to pay. Number 10, the last one. Promoted listing system is a trap. From the day one, it was a cunning plan that couldn't fail. And we have swallowed this plan like a pelican. Just a Polish saying. Swallow like a pelican, you know. They have thrown us fish, and we were swallowing it like a pelican. That's what eBay did. And don't beat yourself that you have fallen for this trap or into this trap. I have fallen into this trap as well as anybody else. Yeah, there are millions of people like us who have fallen in this trap. We are just humans. For God's sake, half of the population of UK voted Brexit. Self-inflicted harm because they have been lured by billionaires who are counting money now to vote for Brexit. And working class people who voted for it are suffering more than ever in the living memory. Because people are sheeple. They are easy to convince that something is good for them. For years, promoted listings were working because eBay was luring us into them. Slowly but steady, showing us, look, you promote, you make sales. Look, for years, it was a super good way to push out sticky stock. A way to get more sales, a way to get more exposure. It was, but it's not anymore. It was a long-term cunning plan by eBay. Long plan that eBay had in their mind from the day one. Lure us in, and when there is enough of us, squeeze our balls so we can sing falsetto. Yeah? It was a money grab exercise from the day one. All they had to do is to be patient. Right now, at the point where they have switched from 1% to 2% as a minimum listing fee, minimum promoted fee, yeah, that was the point where the point of saturation has been reached. The critical mass has been reached to trigger reaction that eBay wanted. There is enough of desperate people in the promoted listing system who are ready to pay for it to push the percentage up through the roof. And eBay is laughing all the way to the bank. I bet there are eBay people who are laughing during funeral because promoted listings came to their mind. Remember back in the days, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, yeah? When you were getting more sales at 1% promoted listings, you were getting more sales that you are getting today at 15%. Do you remember that? Because I remember that flipping clearly. I was getting more sales at 1% that I'm getting now at 6, 7, 5, something like that. That was the plan from day one. And now it's time to cut. It's harvest time. And this is what they are doing. This is the only item in eBay balance sheet that is growing. And they are laughing. They are laughing. They lured us in. It was working for us. Now it's working for them. Because there is enough people to push it higher and higher and higher and higher. I know this video is super long. I will cut it here, and in the next video, probably, hopefully, next Friday, if I will be able to write a script and record the video, I will give you some examples, some explanations, some advice about how to use promoted listings, how to determine your real ROAS, how to determine how high can you go with your percentage, how to exploit cheap ways to get sales via promoted listings, and many, many, many other things. As for today, I am phasing myself out of promoted listings, slowly but steady. I'm not completely done with them, not entirely done with them, at least for now. Who knows, it may be different in 6 months' time. But looking at the direction that promoted listings are going to, it is the best option to kind of lower the reliance on them. I want to pay less. I am paying now about 4% for them on average. I want that to be 3%, maximum 3.5%. And when I reach that point, I will check how many sales I get. Is it less? Is it more? Is it the same? And I will try to push it even lower. With that being said, let me wrap it up here. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful or interesting. If you have, please don't forget to click that like button. If you wish to support the channel further, consider subscribing or share it with your friends on your social media. But what's most important, carry on watching, as this is the best way to show me that you want me to carry on. A nice word or two in the comment section would be greatly appreciated. If you want to tell me that I'm an idiot, put it down in promoted listings, in comments. I don't mind. If you can explain me why you think I'm an idiot, I'm always learning. I'm always learning. Take care of yourself, guys. Have a great week. God bless you all, and bye-bye.